James 3 through 5. Now, if we put the bits into the horses' mouths so that they will obey us, we direct their entire body as well. Look at the ships also, though they are so great and are driven by strong winds, are still directed by a very small rudder, wherever the inclination of the pilot desires. So also the tongue is a small part of the body, and yet it boasts of great things. The internet tells me that on average the human tongue is 4 inches long. The internet is always right, of course, but it seems to me that some wagging tongues are a lot longer than that, don't you think? Google also tells me that the tongue is 20% fat and 70% water. There's a joke in there somewhere. I thought the tongue was a muscle. Some people are exercising it way too much. It's probably the most fit muscle in our bodies, next to the gluteus maximus, of course. Now, we know that James is not speaking literally about the 70-gram appendage in our mouths. He's talking about the heart, which provides the fuel that the tongue uses to ignite human forest fires. And he's echoing the words of Jesus. Remember what he said? The good man out of the good treasure of his heart brings forth what is good. The evil man out of the evil treasure of his heart brings forth what is evil. For his mouth speaks from that which fills his heart. Back to James. James loves his illustrations. He likened the tongue to a bit. Verse 3, if we put bits into the horses' mouths, so forth. He likened the tongue to a rudder. Verse 4. Look at the ships also. Though they are so great, they're driven by a very small rudder. And also a forest fire. Verse 5. So also the tongue is a small part of the body, and yet it boasts of great things. See how great a forest fire is set aflame by such a small fire. And also poison, down in verse 8. But no one can tame the tongue. It is a restless evil and full of deadly poison. And even down in verse 11 and 12. Does a fountain send out from the same opening both fresh water and bitter? Can a fig tree, my brethren, produce olives, or a vine produce figs? Nor can salt water produce fresh. Now think about this. Bits and rudders are good things, useful tools. Forest fires and poison, not so much. And that makes James scratch his head and wonder, verse 9, with it, our tongue, we bless our Lord and Father, and with it we curse men who have been made in the likeness of God. From the same mouth come both blessings and cursings. My brethren, these things ought not to be this way. How is it that Christians can use all the proper lingo in church on Sunday, but then attack and destroy others with their words the rest of the week? Let's see if we can find ways to bless people with our words, to build up instead of tearing down, to redeem broken people with our speech. Try that today.